So far, we have explored the fundamental concepts of information security and gained a general understanding of the ISO 27001 standard. Our next step is now to learn how to set up an ISO 27001 implementation project. The goal of such a project is to set up an information security management system that meets the normative requirements of ISO 27001. Your first step? Go get a copy of the standard and give it a good read. This is really the most important advice I can give you. You must be familiar with this document if you are serious about becoming a lead implementer. Now, once you start reading, you will soon realize that international standards are a kind of their own. They are written in a specific way that can seem vague or open to interpretation. But don't worry, this is by design, as it allows for flexibility across different industries and business types. Regardless of your opinion, ISO 27001 includes several specific requirements that must be met to qualify for certification. Unfortunately, I can't provide you with an inside look at the standard due to copyright reasons, but you will find the mandates listed in short paragraphs in each of the chapters. Now, in total, I've identified 234 individual requirements that must be addressed during an implementation project. Some clauses are more extensive than others. For example, clause 4 has just 10 requirements, while clause 6 contains 39 of them. However, don't be misled by the numbers. The effort required to implement a clause isn't necessarily reflected by the number of requirements it has. So it's important not to get too caught up in these figures. To implement these requirements, you need to establish a management system. This means you need to establish certain organizational structures, establish roles and responsibilities, and educate and train your staff. In addition, you need to define policies, processes, and corresponding procedures. You also need to create and maintain records to prove your processes have been carried out as planned. So there's a lot of work to do. Now, the key here is you have to somehow prove that your management system complies with the requirements of ISO 27001 to become certified. To do so, you need to create and maintain a lot of documented information. Now, I don't think that I have to explain the benefits of documentation to you, but let me just tell you a bit about the audit process. At some point, you will hire an external auditor to assess the compliance of your ISMS. And this auditor's role is to ensure that your information security management system meets the requirements of the ISO 27001 standard. They do this by reviewing your documentation, examining your processes, and conducting interviews with key personnel to better understand how security is managed within your organization. Now, the auditor will also look for evidence of continual improvement and verify that your controls are functioning effectively. If everything meets the standard, you'll receive an ISO 27001 certificate, demonstrating that your organization is committed to high standards of information security and so on and so on. But if not, you'll be given a chance to address any non-conformities found and you will be reassessed later. So what I want to say is documented information is a non-negotiable when it comes to management systems. We'll learn more about documented information in the next lecture.